are Geekcentric, and you can be too. Love ya. Get home safe, guys. Peace.
Welcome to the Geekcentric podcast, and welcome to a very special Behind the Geeks episode for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. My name is Justin, and if you're joining us for the first time, well, we are Geekcentric, a podcast covering the world of movies, TV shows, toys, collectibles, gaming, and all things Geekcentric, and all things strange. Today, we've got something really special lined up for you. We're sharing 2 spoiler-filled conversations for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. So before we go any further, consider this your full spoiler warning. If you haven't finished Volume 1 yet, go watch it first and then come right back. Now, before we jump in, I want to give a huge thank you to Netflix Canada for setting us up with these interviews. It's always an honor for us to speak with incredibly talented people behind one of the biggest shows of our generation, and we are so grateful for that opportunity. Now, in just a moment, you'll hear my conversation with Matt and Ross Duffer, aka the Duffer Brothers, the creators of Stranger Things and the directors and writers behind pretty much most of the series. They've obviously worked with a variety of other directors, including Sean Levy. And we talk about building this final chapter and the massive scale of Season 5. And then after that, Nate sits down with Sadie Sink and Jamie Campbell Bower. Sadie talks about Max's emotional journey, and Jamie shares more about stepping back into the darkness that is Vecna. Really great interviews. Very grateful again to the folks at Netflix Canada for setting us up with these interviews. If you want to watch these interviews, instead of just listening to them, you can check out the full interviews on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/geekcentric. They're up there now. And as I mentioned, Stranger Things Volume 1 is streaming now on Netflix, with Volume 2 dropping Christmas Day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then the series finale is arriving on December 31st, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be a massive end to this series, and we can't wait to talk more about it. December is in full swing. Christmas is on the way. It's our last month. We got more stuff coming, so be sure to subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. Hit us up on our new channel at We Are Eatcentric, where we're doing all things food related. And we're looking forward to closing out 2025 and getting ready for 2026. All right, let's get into it. First up is my interview with Matt and Ross Duffer, aka the Duffer Brothers.
Hey Ross. Hey Matt.
Hey, how you doing? We're good.
You're doing good. Well, I'm doing great. I'm talking to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us on the Geekcentric podcast. I've seen all of Volume 1.
Oh, awesome. Amazing.
And I've got to say, you guys weren't kidding when you talked about the scale and the scope for the season. It's huge, and I'm ready for more. I do have clearance for some spoiler questions, or a spoiler question. But before we get to that, I just wanted to start by asking you both, like, this has been obviously 10 years of your life. This is a 10-year journey, and getting to this finale, maybe in just a few words, how are you both feeling now that you've reached the end of Stranger Things?
I mean, it's a mix of feelings. It's very, it's very confusing. I mean, it's sort of, you're excited to be able to tell stories beyond Stranger Things, but also it's been very, very hard for us to leave it behind, because then you're leaving behind these characters that you love and this world that you've spent 10 years creating, and you're leaving behind this cast. It's not like we won't ever work with this cast again, but not all of them certainly together, not this particular ensemble, and we won't be able to see them beautifully acting out these characters. So I don't know, it's a really confusing mix of emotions. It's probably going to take us a year or two or more to sort of come to terms with it.
For sure. Well, I think there's a lot to be proud of. You guys have, made an imprint on pop culture, on generations. There's so many people that are excited for this. My spoiler question now, appears that this whole season revolves around threads from past seasons that connect into this final chapter. Vecna being the mastermind behind everything. We've seen Will's continued connection with the hive mind and some badass powers. Like, that was sick. And then the reveal of Eleven's sister being her kryptonite. I wanted to ask, were those connections always part of a plan from the beginning, or did those ideas evolve naturally as you were building the final season?
Yes, some of it had been planned for a while, and some of it comes to wanting to tie up any loose ends. And so when you're looking back at when we were discussing what we need to do with this final season, Will was one of the first conversations, because he obviously his kidnapping really kicked this whole thing off, and we saw that he had this connection to the evil and to the upside down in season 2. We've been hinting and sort of laying down the tracks for him having powers, and we're like, well, if we're gonna do it, this is our one chance to do it. And it felt like we really needed to bring this story full circle and to let him continue his growth as a character, and we wanted to see him grow stronger and more confident and more powerful and take more of a leadership role. So that was really exciting to do. And then Kali, or 8, was another one of those, just sort of, it's continued to bother us that we never really fully resolved her storyline. And we've talked about bringing her back because the actress who plays her, Linnea, is so incredible. And we wanted to give her more of a platform to showcase what she can do. And we've talked about it every season. It just hasn't made sense narratively. But this season, as we are breaking 11's story, we realized that Kali was actually could be very instrumental and impacted in a real way. And so once we crack that, and you'll see how much she influences things in the next volume, which is quite a bit. So once we figured that out, we were like, we have to bring her back.
Awesome. That's amazing. I'm going to jump to a fun question for you both. There's this beautiful line from Max where she says, music has a way of finding you even in the darkest of places. So for each of you, and we'll start with Matt, what's a song that would save you from Vecna's mind prison?
Man. Yeah, because to me, I have to go back, and this is going to sound weird, but I have to go back to music that impacted me when I was young, because that has the biggest, I still listen to music, obviously, but Ross and I actually didn't listen to, or let me put it this way. We mostly listen to movie soundtracks. That's how fucking, that's how nerdy. That's how nerdy. Come on,
man, I appreciate it.
I've been so good all day, man. I just broke. But yeah, so someone who really impacted us and sort of the way we thought about film was Danny Elfman, and so his Batman theme, 1989, that one impacted us in a major way. That one, I think, would save me from anything. First of all, it pumps me up, and then it also brings me back to my childhood.
Yeah. And for me, I don't know, it's hard to say, but I think, like Matt was saying, it was a lot of movie soundtracks growing up, and we started to get into indie music around once we moved to California to go to college. And I remember, that was around the time like Arcade Fire was just breaking out. And so like something like Wake Up, something like that, I think would immediately, it's gotta be something that means a lot to you and reminds me of a specific time in my life. And I remember that time in my life being really exciting because we were out in California, we were following our dreams, and there was this excitement in the air and what could life bring. So I think it would be something like that.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I think anything from Arcade, even Postal Service was like a big thing for me
all
back
of that
in the day.
stuff.
Postal Service, or like Clap Your Hands, Say Yeah, like that was our time.
Yeah, man, that's definitely a good time, and I would pull you out. And I love your choices. Ross, Matt, thank you so much for making the time to join us on the Geekcentric podcast. It's been an absolute honor of mine just getting the chance to talk to you about this iconic series, and it's like literally one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, that's so amazing to hear.
I'm so excited to see what's going to come for the rest of season 5, and I can't wait to see what you guys do next, because I know you guys are working on a spin-off series. I heard about it. Yeah,
we are.
So
that's true.
That is true. True story.
That is true. You said it at next on Netflix.
That's
so,
right.
It's totally allowed.
No, it is true. It is true.
Yeah, early
Awesome.
days, but I'm working on it.
Well, I'm excited for whatever you guys do next. So
Thanks,
thank you
man.
again.
Thank you, man.
Thank you
Awesome.
so much.
Peace, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Next up is Nate's interview with Sadie Sink and Jamie Campbell Bower.
Hey, Sadie and Jamie, how are you both doing today?
Hi, good. How are you?
Hi, Nate.
I'm doing great. I get to talk to both of you, so I'm stoked. I have been lucky enough to see the first 4 episodes of Volume 1 of Stranger Things 5. You're both so excellent in this series. I've been given the go-ahead to ask spoiler-filled questions, so let's kick things off. Sadie, there's something so poetic and so wonderful about Max protecting Holly, a little sister who's now chosen by Vecna. For yourself, what was it like running up that hill with Holly and exploring this role for Max?
Yeah, I think it was super nice to bring that to life and to explore that side of Max, especially just given her dynamic, her relationship with her older sibling and how she never really had that kind of guidance or support from a family member. So seeing her offer that to Holly, played by an amazing Nell Fisher, it was nice to kind of explore that like softer side of Max. And yeah, full circle, just because I was kind of around Nell's age when I started on the show. So it was, yeah, exciting to work with an amazing new talent. And yeah, an interesting dynamic to bring to life.
I love that. I love that you brought that up, the idea of she never really got that with Billy. So to be able to provide that for someone else, beautiful. You're both growing, and it's so wonderful to see you grow together. Jamie, the most incredible and horrifying moment so far this season has to be Vecna's arrival, taking out those soldiers left and right. What was it like for yourself on set that day? What did that feel like?
Yeah, it felt pretty badass. I sort of described it as like, it feels a bit like walking into a wrestling match as an actor, you know, it's kind of amazing. Yeah, we shot that. I think for me, that was like a week of night shoots, which was pretty fun and cool. And Matt and Ross are so great because, you know, often what we get to do during a rehearsal period, if, you know, on any given day is they'll like hold their iPhone up and follow us around, and we just have, you know, total freedom to do what it is that we want. And that was kind of the vibe on that day. It was like, all right, you got to kill this guy, and however you want to do it is however you want to do it, really. So that was really cool. And then obviously there's that amazing moment with Will at the end, which just felt like one of those magic moments that we get to shoot sometimes, you know, where the air goes still and quiet. It's really cool.
Yeah. I mean, Sadie, you said full circle. I think the same thing with Vecna and Will, absolutely. For both of you, there's this beautiful line of dialogue that stood out so much for me from Max, where she said, music has a way of finding you, even in the darkest of places. So for each of you, I do want to ask, starting with Sadie, what is that one song that will pull you out of Vecna's mind prison?
Ooh, I mean, I've kind of just been saying at this point it is running up that hill, but on a like personal level, probably Cherry Colored Funk by Cocteau Twins.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if it's like an escaping Vecna song, but it is one of like my songs, I think.
I love that. I thought you were going to go the musical route more than anything, but I love
could
that.
do that. I could do that too.
Jamie, how about yourself?
Well, much like Sadie, I started saying something when we were doing season 4 press. I started saying Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. So I've said that for many years now. But if I was to kind of hone in on something particularly, I think any of like Chopin's Nocturne would be amazing. It was something I was listening to as I was preparing for season 4, and it's a beautiful piece of music. So yeah, anything from that.
I love that. The character of Vecna, you brought up Miley Cyrus, does kind of give a little bit of the best of both worlds, right? Between him and Henry. You're kind of...
That's great.
He's an international pop icon.
He absolutely is. Can't wait to see the wigs. Now, as we wrap, and listen, it's going to be tough. You can't say all of them. Going into this back half of Stranger Things 5, what's the episode you cannot wait for fans to react to?
The last
The
one.
final one, yeah.
Yeah, that finale, for sure. I'm excited. I can't wait. I've only seen 4. Of the 4, which one's your favorite so far?
I mean, episode 4 is wild.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked episode 2.
I like 1. I thought 1 was great, just like setting it all up again, just kind of just, yeah, blowing the doors off it from the word go. Yeah.
Mm.
Amazing. And I really loved episode 3. So there we go. It's all great. Both of you are so rad and so talented. You both should be so incredibly proud of the contributions you've made to this legendary series. And Sadie, I'm specifically excited to see whatever other universe you find yourself in next. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? Awesome. Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.